What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Let's play Crash Bandicoot 2 Part 4. We are now beginning Crash Crush, the fourth level in the second warp room and the second chase level. And the second chase level, or I guess the last chase level with a boulder in it. But anyway, so this one is definitely going to be a lot harder than Crash Dash. It's going to have a lot more of the electric mines in it, a lot more fences, as well as more boxes littered around that you have to get. Or you don't have to get any of the boxes, except for at the very end there will be another at the end section, just like with Crash Dash, except this one will be a little bit harder, and it will involve more. It'll be a lot harder. I won't spoil it. I'll just wait till the end. But you can see here there's a fork in the road. You have to go along this right path, which will bring you to a dead end. You want to be careful about that that gap there. You have to slide underneath the electric fence and then do a sliding jump to get over that hole to be able to get across. And as you notice, there will be two of those sections where you can mess around, where you don't have to worry about the boulder chasing you, which is always nice to have a rest. The electric mines do slow the boulder down a little bit, but not nearly as much as they will slow you down, so you definitely have to be very careful. As you saw there, you can actually time it just right to have Crash looking back at the screen. You can see him turning around and looking at the boulder. And, well, there goes all my speed, but you can actually time it to where he will be looking at the camera while he's doing that. And this is one section, if I can get it just right now. Okay, well, anyway. So now we go into the bonus round. Something that I did not mention in part 3, if you notice, with the bear riding level, just like with the hog riding levels from Crash 1, those do not have bonus rounds, so there will be some levels that don't have bonus rounds, but every level that allows you to walk around will have a bonus round in it. So unlike with Crash 1, where some of the levels didn't have ton of bonus rounds, even though they didn't. I believe one was Temple Ruins didn't have one. I can't remember the other ones, but some of those levels that allowed you to walk around on foot didn't let you have didn't let you have bonus rounds, but all the levels here will. So this is the last stretch. This is the last boulder. You have to be very careful to make sure you stay away from any electric mines. You have to make sure that you hit every single speed pad. You may even want to not hit any boxes just to help speed you up. You want to try to get any gaps that you can by jumping over some of these holes, because of that one box where you have to use the body slam on. The rest of those boxes are pretty easy. The only problem is that the box where you have to use the body slam on. That's the only thing that is very, very difficult about that level. Past that, it's pretty easy. The only thing is that it's pretty long. But anyway, so there you go. That's Crash Crush. Wow, that was weird. Alright, so now we will begin the Eel Deal, the first sewer-based level, where you are on the sewers of, I believe now we are on Cortex Island. I don't remember exactly where, because this shouldn't have any sewers in it, this being Intensity Island, and it didn't have any modern technology or anything on it, on that island in the first game. So I believe this is supposed to be on the on Cortex Island. But anyway, so as you saw, there will be eels in the water that will send electricity through the water. As you saw, it was glowing yellow, and you can see here, when the water is glowing yellow, you cannot get into the water, because it will shock you, and you will either take damage or lose life depending on how many masks you have. Now you want to go through here and then jump through this door, because this is the secret route that will take you to the green gym. If you may have noticed, there was a green gym slot above the door for this level. And through here, you just want to take it easy and wait for the electricity to go before continuing on. But there you go. You can see the green gym looks very similar to the way it did in Crash 1. Size-wise, it's still wide and flat, just like it was in the original. You can see what those pads do. If you look up above, they will fall underneath your weight if you stand on them long enough. So that kind of gives you a sense of that you have to hurry while you're going along through those sections, or while you're going along through those pads, because you can't wait forever. And they will fall out from underneath you, but not so quickly as some other platforms will. All I have to do is just make it back across, and there you go. So now, if you do die, you will keep the colored gym, which is very nice. I'm glad they added that in the game, just because this game is so difficult. It is kind of needed. And it just helps, it helps save time, like with, Air Crash. If you didn't want to end the level immediately, if you wanted to, like I said, you wanted to go after both the gyms, you could very easily, instead of waiting to go after one type of gym. Instead of going after one type of gym, having to go back through the entire level again, you could just go after both gyms, which is very, very easy, and I'm glad they added that in the game, and I'll be able to show that off later on. And I believe the third warp room, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so no real puzzle to this bonus round. I really wasn't paying attention. I remember these bonus rounds. Well, I don't really remember the bonus rounds detail-wise. So if there was a puzzle there, I really don't remember what it was, to be honest. Excuse me a moment. I apologize for that. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of bonus rounds won't have a really clear puzzle to them. They will just increase in difficulty as you go along. Just different things that Naughty Dog added to make them a little bit more difficult. They're kind of like the same bonus rounds from Crash 1, where not every single Tana bonus round had a clear difficulty in them. They just all got more difficult as you progress through the game. These bonus rounds kind of take that same design. Now, if you noticed, I did actually walk on an eel. They will not hurt you if they're not, zapping the water. You cannot kill them, with a mask or body slam, slide, spin, whatever. So you cannot kill them. And if you want to look at Crash close up, you can here. Just different, features on him. There will be certain levels where you can look at him a lot closer than that, and I'll make sure to show that off once I get to it. It will be a little bit later on in the game. So it's probably 2 to 3 more videos away. Especially if I keep at my current pace of only doing 3 levels per video. I do apologize for part 3 being so short, but it was kind of out of my hands. I had things to do at that time, and I just I had to go ahead and end it. But anyway, so see this level, the floor here will actually hurt you. If you see, there are holes in between the grates here. And if you step on that, that will actually burn you. So you want to be careful while going through that section. Those little spiky things, you cannot actually hurt them. On the bottoms, they are too hot, and on top they have the spikes, so you're not going to be able to hurt them. So you just have to be careful while going through them. And you notice the hanging section. I didn't show it off because I'll be able to show it off later on in the game. But if you push the circle button, you can actually pull Crash's feet up underneath him.
I'm running low on power, so communication from this point will be difficult. Again, be wary of the pathways between warp rooms. Remember,
But yeah, and that will allow you to dodge anything that's below you, which, as I said, I'll be able to show off later on in the game. But anyway, so with this boss fight, they will actually give you one mask to start off. As you notice with Ripperoo, they didn't give you a mask. This is the only boss fight that they will actually give you a mask on, unlike in Crash 1 where they would give you 2 masks to start. And all you have to do really is just sit still. I have seen it where, for whatever reason, the skinny one, whose name is Joe, the fat one there in the middle is called Mo. Joe will actually spin around and follow you for quite a while, and I don't know how that actually gets started. He doesn't actually chase after you. All you have to do is just spin into him. I think you can slide into him, but I just find it easier to spin into him. Then Mo will throw his swords. If you get too close to him while Joe is spinning, he will try to slice you with one of his swords. So you do definitely want to be careful about that. And then with his third time, he will just to ensure that you keep moving, he will throw swords at you. He'll throw 3 swords at you. I guess you can see Joe spinning around, following me now. There we go. So I guess you can actually slide into them. You cannot skip this while he is dancing, if he kills a boss fight, or while doing a boss fight. So you have to watch it, sadly. But as you saw there, not too difficult of a boss fight. The biggest thing is just, well, I guess there really is no real reason to be worried about that boss fight.
Good show, Crash. The Komodo brothers obviously lacked your medal. But now is not the time to get cocky. There are still many crystals to obtain. Remember, the world is counting on you.
Alright, so what I'm going to go through here is plant food. This is another stream-based level. And this one has a time trial tied to it. And I'm going to go ahead and get the time trial first. And then depending on what, time-wise I may end the video here, I don't know. This is actually a pretty long level, so it really just depends on what the time is when I get through this one. But this level is a lot longer than Hang 8. And so, they do give you the time again is random, just like in that game or in that level. They sometimes will give you up to a minute, 5 seconds, or sometimes they'll start you below a minute. The lowest I've ever had was 58 seconds. The highest I ever had was a minute 5, which definitely helps. And also, you can gain quite a little bit of time while jumping on all of those TNTs and on the man-eating plants, what I guess they call Venus flytraps, but they're actually called man-eating plants. And you have to be careful while you're dodging them. Through here, there is no, if you were doing the level normally, you could bypass these plants and you wouldn't take any damage. But sadly, you have to take damage. With this last one, it's fine. You don't have to worry about it. You have to jump over these nitros. What the? You have got to be kidding me. Okay. I was at 1 second and it just went right through the gym. But you can see what happens if you do fail. So I'm going to have to do the level over again, sadly. But you can just kind of get a sense for how long the level is. And I should be able to do it again. I don't think it would have mattered if I had died. That shouldn't have had anything to do with it. The reason why I did want to start over again instead of dying was because I wanted to have 2 masks while going through this level. As I said, it's not a very hard level. It's just long, and those 2 man-eating plants at the end of the level, or at the end of the section. So a minute 4. That's a little bit more like it. But at the end of that section, we'll definitely. You'll definitely want 2 masks while going through there. I figured, through those 2 mines, I may lose a mask, and it would just be a lot easier, you know, if I had at least one mask while going through here. But anyway, so again, you know, just do anything you can to help save time. Obviously, you know, since I had about 4 more seconds, I should be okay, but as long as you don't mess around too much, you should still be okay. You know, you shouldn't take damage through there, so that's not a problem. Just this section, you know, that's this portion. You know, if you take damage there, it'll kind of save time. That one you should never take damage on, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. The pad that he's standing on, you cannot actually reach it, and there's no point in doing so. So there you go. The clock will still count down. I don't know why, but you can see you can get through there in about a minute. Minute 2 knows it. That's pretty much what you have to have time-wise. But anyway, well, I guess I can go ahead and do plant food. I'll go ahead and end the video on you know, I'll do plant food. I'll get it done, and that's how I will end the video. But anyway, so you know, you've already seen kind of what the level is and what it looks like. It'll definitely be a lot longer because you have to go after all the boxes in the bonus round and all that. But for the most part, you know, it's like I said, it's not too long. It's not too hard of a level. Especially, you know, the time trial makes it a lot more difficult because you cannot go after. You know, you cannot ahead of time kill those 2 man-eating plants at the end of the tiles. The biggest thing is that there's a lot more added whirlpools. You can actually go right through the middle of them if you the whirlpools. If you boost before you actually reach them. If you boost while on top of them, I don't know why that happened. I was trying to jump on top of it. But this bonus round definitely is a lot more difficult because of what you have to do in the puzzle here, and obviously I'm going to show it off here in a moment. I gotta make sure that other TNT blew up. Yes, okay, see, there you go. You know, I should have activated both TNTs, but you know, I didn't, and it prematurely blew up. So that just, you know, that goes to show right there what, or I guess why the TNTs are so important. So I guess this isn't level I was thinking about, thankfully. But yeah, I'm glad I was able to show that off, the TNT prematurely blowing up and not activating that. Not active. Crap. Guess I didn't swing out wide far enough. What the? That was odd. That was gray. I've never seen it turn gray before. I don't know if it's just because maybe I played through the level twice and I missed it. You know, didn't get it both times. Maybe it turned gray. You know, I'm not sure. Like I said, I've never actually seen it turn gray before. Yeah, that was weird. But anyway, so, and that, you know, killing both of those man-eating plants takes the danger out of this. And, you know, past that, you could just go through the level normally. That last one there won't give you any trouble, so you shouldn't have to worry about it. And you can see it's just a little bit too far away for you to be able to reach it from shore. From over here, and as I said, there's no point in getting it. Back when I was younger, before I knew about the time trial for getting the yellow gem, that's how I thought you had to get the yellow gem, by getting onto that platform, and it would take you to a secret area. Or a secret portion in the level that would allow you to get the yellow gem. But anyway, so I know time-wise it's still a little short. You know, it's just about 19 minutes 20 seconds right now. But sewer or later in these levels will be a little bit longer. So I would like to go ahead and so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I'm going to talk about the trivia though, and I did miss the box count for Snowbiz, Air Crash, and Barrett, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about that. I won't talk about Air Crash, but I'll talk about Barrett and Snowbiz. Crystal, Crystal, you know, 1 gem clear, 124 boxes. Enemies are Penguin, Fur Seal, Pillar, you know, the Pillars, the Echidna, Icicles, and Rolling Stones. Barrett, Crystal, 1 gem clear, 48 boxes. enemies are totem poles, fur seals, and the orcas. For Crash Crush, Crystal, 1 gem, Clear, 57 boxes, Boulder, Electric Fence, and Spring Mines, and I'll go ahead and go into it. Crash Crush is the 9th level in Crash Bandicoot 2. It is a sequel of sorts to Crash Dash, which Crash is again tasked with running away from gargantuan snowballs during the evening. Crash likes to dodge mines like electric barriers, but this time he is assisted by turbo paths scattered around the stage. Players will have to make efficient use of these turbo boosts on the final snowball run, as it contains a locked crate that Crash won't have enough time to belly flop open unless he has a significant lead over the snowball. Shortly after the first checkpoint, there is a brief split path Crash must take if he wants all the crates. This is interesting, the only time in the series pre-warp that the player is expected to run away from the camera in a chase level. Trivia: most fans seem to agree that the split path area featuring an electric fence Crash will slide under directly before a bottomless pit is the hardest thing in this game, as they claim they have literally only 1/100th of a second to tap X, or Crash won't make the jump. I don't know. I remember having trouble on that jump when I was younger, but not recently. So I don't know what their problem is, but anyway. So the Eel Deal, Crystal, 2 gems, Green Clear, 79 boxes. Enemies are Eel, Fan, the Rolling Toxic Waste Can, Spiked Rat, Scrubbing Bubbletron, Hover Spikes, and the Hovering Spikotron. The Eel Deal is the 10th level in Crash Bandicoot 2. It is the first sewer level in the game, introducing Crash to a series of new obstacles, including spinning fan blades, rolling barrels of toxic waste, deeply disturbing mutant rats, scrubbing bubbletrons, and most importantly, savage electric eels that will shock Crash if he steps in the water at the wrong time. Crash will encounter 2 forks in this level's path. The first, the right fork, seems to lead to a useless dead-end room filled with nitro crates. Clever players, however, will see this field of greenness and take the hint, as they can walk straight through the back wall to a secret path that takes them to the green gym. They will still need to return to the fork and take the left path to continue in the level. At the second fork in the road, the right path leads to the end of the level, but players will have to take a brief detour to the level to find one of the few almost slightly hidden crystals in the game. Trivia: this level's title is possibly pun on the Real Deal, a popular saying referring to something that is genuine or authentic. The fish commonly referred to as electric eels in the real world are not, in fact, actually eels, but rather knife fish. Fans believe that Naughty Dog was actually aware of this mistake, but opted to use eel in the title anyway, as there is no synonym for a deal in the English language that rhymes with knife fish. Supposedly, the beta version of Crash 2 contained an extra crate in the bonus round off-screen and only reachable by jumping on top of the stack of iron crates. So, we'll do the Komodo Bros boss fight now. The Komodo brothers are the second bosses and have 3 hit points at the beginning. They're throwing knives at each other and catching them. They spot Crash, and Mo chuckles, jumps onto the middle and spins Joe, who ends up spinning around the room, but he stops stunned. You can spin or slide kick him and he'll knock Mo over. Infuriated, Mo starts throwing knives around the room, going counterclockwise. Then he'll spin Joe again. Once you make him hit Mo, they'll be left with 1 hit point. Mo throws knives around the room again. When he spins Joe for a final time, Mo will throw a single knife at you. When Joe knocks Mo over, he won't get up. You win. In the prototype version of the game, Joe spun faster, making the boss fight harder. It is actually a very easy boss fight, to be honest. Let's see. We'll do Plant Food now. Plant Food, Crystal, 2 gems, Yellow Clear, 53 boxes. Enemies are the man-eating plants, Water Mine, Whirlpool, and Hippos. Alright, Plant Food is the 11th level in Crash Bandicoot 2, is the 3rd and final stream-themed level in the game. Similarly to Hang 8, there's a time trial challenge after breaking the first checkpoint crate. If the player completes the level before time runs out, he or she will acquire the yellow gem. At least 1 Aku box is required to complete the time trial. No trivia for this level, so, there you go. But anyway, so I thank you for watching the challenge of the video. is uh, how many knives did Mo throw in the entire boss fight? Thank you for watching. Next time we will do sewer or later, or I guess level 12, level 13, and then we'll go on from there. But until then, later everyone.